welcome back to our channel. In today's video, I'm going to talk about one of the front-end interview questions. That is, what happens when you hit a URL? Okay, this is the question. So, when you type a URL and hit enter, here is what happens behind the scenes. The first thing is URL parsing. The browser passes the URL to extract the protocol like HTTP, HTTPS, domain name, port, and path. It validates the URL format and determines what needs to be requested. That is the first step. Second step is DNS resolution. Browser needs to find the IP address for the domain name. Let's say, for example, you hit www.google.com. Here, browser needs to find the IP address for the google.com. That is a domain name. It checks its cache first, then queries the operating system's DNS cache, and finally contacts DNS servers to resolve the domain to an IP address. That is the second step. The third step is TCP connection. The browser establishes a TCP connection with the server using a three-way handshake. For HTTPS, an additional TLS handshake occurs to establish an encrypted connection. That is the third step. The fourth step is HTTP request. The browser sends an HTTP request to the server, including headers with information about the browser, accepted content types, cookies, and other metadata. That is about the fourth step. The fifth step is server processing. The web server receives the request, process it, which might involve database queries, running server-side code, or accessing files, and prepares a response. That is about server processing. Fifth step. The sixth step is HTTP response. The server sends back HTTP response containing status code, headers, and the requested content like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, images, etc. The seventh step is content processing. The browser receives the response and begins parsing the HTML. It builds the DOM tree, requests additional resources like CSS and JavaScript files, and starts rendering the page. That is about the seventh step. Eighth step, rendering and painting. The browser constructs the render tree, calculates layout, and paints the content to the screen. JavaScript execution can modify the DOM and trigger re-rendering. Okay, that is the eighth step. The final and ninth step is additional resources. Browser makes additional HTTP requests for reference resources like style sheets, scripts, images, and fonts, repeating the process for each resource. Okay, this is about what happens when you hit a URL. Okay, this entire process typically happens in milliseconds, though it can vary based on network conditions, server response times, and the complexity of web page. This is about the front-end interview question, what happens when you hit a URL. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, please do like, comment, share, and subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching.